Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Arif bin Fazli. I'm from Petroleum Engineering. Today I'm going to talk about management environment. So, no successful organization or its manager can operate without understanding and dealing with the dynamic environment, which includes external and internal environment. So, what is external environment? The term external environment refers to factors, forces, situations, and events outside the organization that affect its performance. There are 6 components of external environment, which is the economic component, the demographic component, the technological component, the socio-cultural component, the political or legal component, and lastly the global component. So how it will affect the managers? So there are 3 ways that the external environment will affect the managers, which is it will impact on jobs and employment. It will change the amount of environmental uncertainty and its nature of stakeholder relationship. So now we have looked at the external environment of an organization. Let's focus on the internal aspect of the organization. Specifically, its culture. So, what is organizational culture? Organizational culture is the shared values, principles, traditions, and ways of doing things that influence the way organizational members act. Okay, so organizational culture is important because of the impact it has on decisions, behavior, and action of organizational employees. Research suggests that an organization's culture can be described using the 7 dimensions, which is attention to detail, outcome orientation, people orientation, team orientation, aggressiveness, stability, and innovation and risk taking. Thank you. So I will pass to my friend.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Alim Aiman bin Almano. I am from PE and I'm from Group Bagus. So the task given to me is chapter 3, which is planning strategies and process. Based on the interview with the manager of Kiamfat Motors and Berhad, I found that planning strategies is very important for managers in order to reach organization goal within the time given. If the manager did not have a good planning strategies, the manager and non-managerial staff cannot do their work properly on time. This will lead to more complicated problems such as depression or stress, as they need to work overtime. Other than that, manager also need to understand the factor that can affect the planning development process. Based on the Kiamfat Motors and Berhad managers, firstly, the factor is organizational planning. Lower manager most of the time will do the operational planning, while the upper manager will do the strategic planning. Next is environment uncertainty, because when the environment uncertainty is high, plan need to be specific. Lastly, planning also highly related to time. Planning for too long or too short period of time is ineffective and inefficient. Now I will pass to my friend.
Hi guys, my name is Muhammad Amirul Hakim bin Zaidi and I'm from PE Department Group Bagus. So today I've been assigned with the chapter Making Decisions. At first, we'll be talking about decision making process. Now, our research is based on the managers from Kiamfat Motor SDM BHD. Now, as we know, managers at all level in all organization make decisions, that is, they make choice. But for our research, we'll be talking about the bottom level managers. Now, as we know, decisions have a process that we have been made, but as we research on the managers of Kiamfat Motors, the process of making decisions for them is first, identification, second, data analysis, third, selection alternatives, fourth, implementation, and lastly, evaluation. And from the evaluation, there will be feedbacks as they got from data and even from their employees. Now the second one, we'll be talking about the different ways for manager to make decisions. As we know, the managers have four types of decisions to be made. First is planning, which is like what are the organization's long-term objectives, what strategies will be best to achieve those objectives. Second, organizing. For example, how many employees should I have report directly to me? How much centralization should there be in the organization? The third one, leading. How do I handle employees who appear to be unmotivated? What is the most effective leadership style in each situation? And lastly, controlling. What activities in the organization need to be controlled? How should those activities be controlled? So these are types of questions that we can get from the managers of Kiamfat Motors. Now, based on our research with the managers, the manager use the type of decision which is structured problem, because this structured problem always be made by lower manager level, because the top manager level always handle the unstructured problem. So based on the structured problem, they have program decisions. Now these program decisions have three ways, which is procedure, rule, or policy. So the policy for the program decision, which is the customers always right and customers always comes first for their satisfaction. That's all from me. I will pass to my friend.
Assalamualaikum and very good evening. I am Muhammad Rahman bin Azlan and I will be present you about on managing the human resource. So for my part, I will talk about managing human resource, which is the crucial department of in any company that it is, because as you know, HRM is one of the important department, because they are the one that recruiting and also survey their performance and also dismissal of their employees. So all the performance of the company will be on HRM part. So for my interview, based on the question that I asked the manager of Kiamfat Motor, one of the question that I asked him is how did he choose the competent employee. So he answered that he will do the screening to make sure that the employee has a very good personal and communication skill, and beside of the academic credential, he also interviewed them about how much they know about the company that they want to join. And for the second question, I asked him how they keep their performance and maintain the competency of their employee. So the manager said they send them to a seminar or workshop or another training to make them a better employees. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Hakim from PE department from Group Bagus. From what all my friend has told just now, manager play an important role in the company. Manager can be defined as an asset in order to make a good company. Firstly, managers is play a role to maintain the safety of an employee. What I mean by safety is by taking good care of their health. Firstly, manager make changes in order to compete and stay on par with other company. There are three types in making new changes, which is structural, technological, and people. So, when we are talking about changes, there will be a resistance from the employee. When this resistance came, some of the employee will face with stress. How a good manager is when the manager can see when his employee is dealing with stress. There are three types of stress that can be seen. First is physically, second is behaviorally, and third is psychological. Physically, you can see there's changes in their heart rate, their breathing rate, and there is also a risk of heart attack. So, as this what we see here, stress is not something that you can take lightly. And third, a good manager is where a manager that can handle the employee when they're making innovation and changes. From what we learned before, there is this thing called the calm water metaphor, where there is a point where it is unfreezing, and then final part is the freezing point. Unfreezing is where the manager opens up to the employee so that they can accept the new changes. And the freezing point is where to make sure that the changes are permanent. Without the freezing point, the changes can tend to be not be permanent. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.